or vindicate
genuine Chevrolet.
See what Colonial Penn can do for you. Call now.
Call toll-free 1-800-382-6006 for your free information kit. That's 1-800-382-6006.
It seems to me yours is the future we should be worried about, William. I wonder if there are any nice girls at Colonial Penn.
Call toll-free 1-800-382-6006. You'll also receive this free guide to Social Security. Call now. There's no obligation. 1-800-382-6006.
New ways to fight back against rapists. Text Oprah.
Sidney Blumenthal's answers will bring impeachment trial depositions to a close.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Now.
And Blumenthal is the third and final witness to be deposed. Hello from New York, I'm Juju Chang.
And I'm Mabel Jung. Also coming up this half hour, what's driving America's booming housing market? And Dick DeBartolo stops by with the latest in consumer gadgetry. We begin with deposition questions and answers.
The deposition-taking phase of President Clinton's impeachment trial comes to a close today. The Senate still faces decisions on whether to show deposition videotapes publicly and whether to call live witnesses. An update on trial activity now from ABC's Monica Schumann.
Sources say new ground was broken during the 3 hours of questioning of presidential confidant Vernon Jordan by House Manager Asa Hutchinson. Sources add Jordan occasionally became flustered.
We covered what we needed to, and we'll go on and see where we need to be from here.
Sources say White House lawyers asked Jordan an open-ended question, giving him the opportunity to make a statement about his background and his integrity. Senators were focused instead on the testimony of Monica Lewinsky. They combed the transcripts and watched videotapes of her deposition.
She appeared to me to be young, vulnerable, and credible. And she would make an excellent live witness.
But Lewinsky departed Washington, not waiting around to see if the Senate wants a live appearance from her or the other witnesses. Because the 67 votes needed to remove the president from office are unlikely, congressional sources say Republicans are drafting a fact-finding document. It would essentially say the president engaged in a string of wrongful actions in the Paula Jones lawsuit, but stopped short of saying he was guilty of the charges outlined in the impeachment articles. The White House is opposed to such a declaration.
Overall, we believe that the finding of fact within the context of impeachment violates directly the Constitution.
President Clinton's impeachment trial does not seem to preclude his ability to draw support for the Democratic Party. His appearances at fundraising events in Boston and New York City helped raise more than $1.5 million in just one day.
In Washington, a third witness will be deposed. White House aide Sidney Blumenthal will be questioned here on Capitol Hill. House managers say they don't expect to call any more witnesses beyond that. Monica Schumann, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
We'll scratch one major name from the list of contenders for the Democratic presidential nomination. House Minority Leader Richard Gephardt plans to announce today that he won't run. His allies say Gephardt is going to focus on helping Democrats regain control of the House. So far, former Senator Bill Bradley and Vice President Gore are the only candidates. Jordan's King Hussein is reported in stable condition following a bone marrow transplant at the Mayo Clinic. It is the second transplant the King has undergone in his treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He also has received a new round of chemotherapy since returning to Minnesota last week.
And a warning from the head of the CIA, threats to American interests can be found almost everywhere, in Africa, in Asia, in Europe. George Tenet discussed the biggest concerns yesterday on Capitol Hill. Among them, unrest in North Korea and the instability of the Russian nuclear arsenal. But Tenet said the chief concern is accused terrorist Osama bin Laden.
There is not the slightest doubt that Osama bin Laden, his worldwide allies, and his sympathizers are planning further attacks against us. And I must tell you that we are concerned that one or more of bin Laden's attacks could occur at any time.
As you recall, bin Laden is the suspected mastermind behind the U.S. embassy bombings in Africa last August.
1998 was a banner year for the housing industry. A record 888,000 new homes were sold, up more than 10% from the previous year. ABC's Ron Claiborne looks at the building boom.
I think the first thing you'll notice is the beautifully polished hardwood floors.
When Maggie Rivera and Doug Thompson got tired of renting and decided to look for a house to buy, they discovered that the competition was intense.
We've also been finding some that we really like, and before we blink our eye, they're sold.
Everyone, it seems, is buying a house, newly built and old ones too. A combination of low interest rates, steady job growth, and booming consumer confidence, and the continued gains in the stock market have all sparked this home buying frenzy. And that in turn has spurred growth in related businesses. More people are buying furniture, appliances, and household items. If there's a downside to all of this, it's a reported shortage of skilled construction workers.
Plumbers, electricians, tile setters are in great demand, concrete workers. You name the specialty contract and we need those workers.
And that may help cool this red-hot housing market. Contractors not able to build houses fast enough for all of the people who want to buy. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, Miami.
Two giant companies are teaming up to bring the latest communication technology to new homes. Bell Atlantic and IBM will work with builders so they can equip homes so that all of your electronic products are linked. For example, a single remote control might operate everything from security systems to kitchen appliances. So you would never have to leave that couch. Just stay there forever.
With a remote control.
Right, exactly.
You know, some of these companies are teaming together to make toys for kids that are just like grown-up toys, the remote control for kids.
Wow.
So they can tune on their computer and their truck, all sorts of stuff. Now for today's weather. Heavy rain and storms in the northwest with strong winds in the Rockies, an inch or two of snow in the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and in Maine. Rain showers along the Gulf Coast. Temperatures are looking pretty good today, above normal most everywhere. Here's the National Temperature Index plus international forecasts as we get over the hump of the week.
Babe, I'm all through loving you. Wasting my precious time on
World News Now weather brought to you by Searle.
Gonna walk away, walk out, kiss this love goodbye.
Hey, I know you're up. I know. Because I was just like you. You can't sleep. You read, you watch TV, you try anything, but you still can't sleep. Your body's exhausted, but your mind won't turn off. And if you take something to help you sleep, you may feel even worse the next day. But your doctor has things that can really work. They work for me.
Sleep Solutions from Searle. A breakthrough approach to sleep therapy, available through your doctor.
You could be sleeping right now.
Wonder why your throat is dry more and more. It's really sore. You gotta believe in every relief. You know what you're looking for. Ricola here, Ricola there, Ricola here, Ricola there, Ricola here, Ricola there, Ricola here, Ricola there. Herbal Ricola, soothing Ricola, natural Ricola, store protect your heat. Ricola heat.
What sets some people apart? Gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer.
Call now, 800-544-6400. That's 800-544-6400 for the Wall Street Journal.
I was getting married. I didn't want to be a fat bride. I lost 39 pounds on the Slim Fast plan. I've kept it off for 3 years, and I still fit into my wedding dress. I feel on top of the world. I take care of myself. I eat right, and I have Slim Fast for lunch every day. It's delicious. It helps keep me looking like this.
23 vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, fiber, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
I feel wonderful.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
I did it. You can do it.
2020 tonight. A lawyer accused of killing his lover. The key witness, another mistress. The story of betrayal in her own words. Plus, do you put your child in a shopping cart? Well, kids go from it to the ER in record numbers. Before your next trip to the market, watch this 2020 tonight. And don't forget 2020 Friday.
On Valentine's Day, Brandy and Whitney return to ABC.
Who are you? I'm your fairy godmother, honey.
In an encore presentation of the music and the magic Brandy, Whitney, Jason, Bernadette, and Whoopi in Cinderella, ABC Valentine's Day.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by Slim Fast Foods.
Chicago Bears Hall of Famer Walter Payton announced yesterday that he has a rare liver disease and needs a transplant to live. The former star running back, along with his son and doctor, spoke with the media after rumors surfaced about his health. The disease has reduced him visibly from his playing days. Only 3 in every 100,000 people are afflicted with this type of liver disease.
Disease is going to progress. Am I scared? Hell yeah, I'm scared. Would you be scared? But what can you do? You know, like I said, it's not in my hands anymore. It's in God's hands, and it's in the doctor's hands. And whatever they say that it's fit for me, that will happen. If it's meant for me to go on and to be around, I'll be around. If it's not meant for me, it won't be meant for me.
The origin of the disease is unknown, but it is not linked to alcohol or steroid use or AIDS. Think of all the things law enforcement does to make this world safer. Think of the murderers and violent thieves caught every day. Now think of golf. Because not even this most elegant of sports is immune to crime's bitter touch. Reporter Ross Camp of Orlando station WFTV-TV has that story.
U.S. Customs officials have seized boxes and boxes of golfing equipment. At first glance, the stuff looks legit. But it turns out these Big Berthas, for instance, are just good fakes, imitations being peddled by counterfeiters. This is a small sampling of the $6 million worth of goods recovered in Project Teed Off.
I think it's the first time that the counterfeit golf industry has been infiltrated.
Investigators say these are 2 of the men who were trying to pawn off those goods. They're from Taiwan, and agents say they were very gutsy. They allegedly tried to do business at one of the largest golf shows in the world, the PGA show that just ended here in Orlando.
They were there attempting to meet potential purchasers and met with some of our undercover agents during the course of the last few days.
Of course, legitimate golfing manufacturers are ecstatic about the bust. They're sick of counterfeiters using their good name to sell look-alike, low-quality goods.
We believe that it actually takes sales out of our pockets when counterfeit clubs are sold as original equipment manufactured product.
Small retailers like Roy Beatty couldn't agree more. He's leery of deals that sound too good to be true.
Is that if you buy something like that and you have a problem with it as a consumer and you send it back to the manufacturer, you've got no warranty information, anything on that, and then that leaves a bad taste in the consumer's mouth.
And without a warranty, making a hole-in-one won't be easy at all. Now, quality clubs are very expensive. In fact, some of these clubs here cost between $400 and $500 a piece. Counterfeiters will oftentimes try to sell these clubs for a third of the price. So buyer beware, and know that if a deal sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
That was Ross Camp from WFTV-TV reporting, and that's sports for this half hour. I know Jonathan really liked his closing line, and I know Mabel's going home to check her Big Berthas.
Very gutsy. When we come back, our gadget guy rides the latest fads.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
I have an idea. That is $1 million idea.
I just got a great idea.
Don't tell me, tell the Invention Idea Company. Ideas can make money, and the Invention Idea Company can show you how to turn your dream into reality, how to patent the idea, submit it to industry, and market it on the way to success. Call now for information. 1-888-430-IDEA. That's 1-888-430-IDEA. The Invention Idea Company, your first step to success.
Virtually everyone who applies for this Visa credit card will be approved. If you meet these minimum requirements, you will be approved for this unsecured Visa credit card. This means you're not required to pay a security deposit to obtain your Visa credit card, even if you've been turned down before and regardless of your past credit history. Now you can be approved for the credit you need with no security deposit required. This is a limited time offer. Find out if you're among the thousands who will be approved for this no-risk unsecured Visa credit card. Call our toll-free number now.
And here are the stories we're following for you this morning. White House aide Sidney Blumenthal is today's witness in the impeachment trial. Blumenthal, who has said he heard President Clinton describe Monica Lewinsky as a stalker, is the final witness scheduled to be questioned on videotape by House prosecutors. The president had a big night of fundraising at a $10,000 a plate dinner in New York. That and an earlier appearance in Boston brought in about $1.8 million for the Democratic Party. And U.S. Drug Policy Chief Barry McCaffrey is calling for year-round drug testing of pro athletes who want to compete in the Olympics.
You know, technology is advancing by leaps and bounds these days. We have remote control explorers on Mars, we have smart bombs, we even have computers that can beat Garry Kasparov at chess. And sure, these things are very cool, yet they don't really improve our lives on a day-to-day basis. But there are some new gadgets that can make your life easier. Our gizmo guy, Dick DeBartolo, checked them out at the Houseware Show in Chicago. Hi, Dick.
Oh, I'll be there in a minute. Juju, I have to read my contract more carefully. It says show gadgets and do things. I did the top 3 floors of this building.
Do you do windows too?
I do. You know, this is really neat. I don't mind doing it because this is the Hoover Wind Tunnel.
Cool.
And so you know that your rugs are really clean. I'll show you something really neat.
Wow.
When it's red, there,
right.
Now the rug is totally clean. We move up a little, we're back to red.
Wow.
When it goes to green, it's time to move on.
What does that indicate?
It indicates that it has done all the deep down dirt is now on up. There we are. And Hoover says that you can even get out all the rug mites. So people with allergies will appreciate that. It has a very intense filtering system. And also, this is really great. The tools are carried on board and behind a little
wow, that's
here.
very cool.
Okay, so
it's
that's
sort of
really
like
neat.
an instantaneous grading device. As you're vacuuming,
As you're
it's like
vacuuming,
you're done, you're not done, keep going.
Tells you when to move on.
Cool.
And vacuums were the #1 seller last year, I believe, according to HFN. People are vacuuming away, okay? This is brand new from Philips. This is called Sensor Touch. It's a thermometer.
Oh, really?
Push the little button, lights up red, just put it behind your ear. I hear 3 beeps already, and my temperature is 98.
Wow, interesting. There were some people on the staff who said touch thermometers aren't as accurate. Do you get that?
Well, you know, Philip said that this is, I forget the exact percentage of accuracy, but what they claim this is going to be great for, you can take your child's temperature even while the child is sleeping.
Oh, that is nice.
Okay, and as you saw,
for a lot of concerned parents,
it
that's
takes
great.
a couple of seconds.
Wow.
It's going to be about $80, and that'll be coming in the spring.
Very
Yeah, but hold it. There you go.
Oh, I hear it.
You hear it?
Yeah.
And you are?
Cold-blooded, 96.5. Okay.
That's not so bad. This is a thermometer of a different kind from Oregon Scientific.
Oh, nice.
And we see 2 different windows here. And the reason is this little remote thermometer, I had it here by the stove. You can put this out in the backyard. It'll tell you the outdoor temperature.
Oh, interesting.
But then it will send the outdoor temperature to the indoor.
Wow, interesting.
So as you look at it, and you can you can buy optional thermometers, like on a boat or in a country cottage, you can monitor 3 different areas and tell it. It's about $60. That's Oregon Scientific cableless thermometer. This is brand new. This is coming in about 4 months for about $40. It's called Revell Wet and Dry Grinder. What's different about this, you can grind coffee beans in it.
Oh, right.
But then you can take out the grinder part, put it in the dishwasher.
Oh, nice.
And then use it for nuts or other things, whereas most coffee grinders, the bowl is permanent.
It says like onions and things too,
exactly.
nuts,
You can
chopped
do,
nuts.
You can do onions, and the great thing is after onions in the dishwasher, then you can then use it again to grind your coffee. This is really neat. We have to click this guy up a little here.
Oh, right.
And that's on. And what we're going to do is actually go on to the next item while this brews here. This is called Cocoa Motion. Cocoa Motion is really great. Throw in 2 cups of water, a package of cocoa mix, hit on, and there's a little paddle in there that foams the chocolate, and when it's done, it shuts off automatically.
Wow.
So it's all in one. It makes great chocolate.
We'll have to do a little
and
taste
we'll
test.
do a little taste test and a little hidden core down in the bottom. I think we can come back to this now.
Okay.
This is a little kettle that will start the horses going when the water boils.
Oh,
I'll show you this one that we don't have on the stove here. This is from World of Kettles. When this kettle heats up, the rockets will start going around the kettle. They have a steam locomotive that the wheel will start to go. And this little guy, it's building up steam now.
I can hear
You
it.
can hear it, hear
Sure.
it. They're going to be about $75 at specialty gourmet stores, and they'll be coming in April or May.
So when this one goes off,
when this one goes around,
the rockets go around?
Go around.
That's very
the
cool.
the train wheels move, the train wheels move. And come on, horsies. I hear it, I hear it. It's boiling, it's boiling. Should we give it just a little head stuff?
Oh, wow. Chug it, chug it, chug. That is so cute.
Is that neat?
For all of us who want to run off to the circus, that's perfect.
That's really neat. This is from, I guess we can just lower this a little here. This is from Bonjour. It's called Cup of Foam. And this is if you just want to foam one little thing of milk. Yeah, I know.
What is that for?
This is so you want to make an individual cappuccino. Look at how this is
So you get heated milk.
You don't even have to heat it. But look at it.
Wow.
In just a few, and that's going to be under $10. That's
So what does that do? Inject air into the milk?
That's exactly right. And it's real fast.
That's great.
See? And now your temperature's gone up 2 degrees.
Can you see that? It's foaming up.
And it's under $10. It's called Bonjour Cup of Foam, or Cup A Foam.
Love that.
These are only going to be about $2. These are for kids. Aren't these cute?
They are adorable.
They're little.
Very colorful.
They're little cups, screw-off caps, but the tails or the trunks are the built-in
Very
straws. They're about $2, called Wild Sip. And our final guy, I'm going to move you back here.
Okay.
This is from Homedics. This is called the Back Maestro. Okay,
Maestro, take a chair.
Yeah, you take a chair.
Oh, I'm supposed to sit?
And Back Maestro, by the way, Back Maestro will also work in your car because it comes with a 12-volt adapter.
Right.
And now we'll turn it on. And did I scare you?
Wow.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but Back Maestro, you can turn off different...
I see.
You can, if you just want your middle back massaged, you can turn on just the middle back, and it has all different variations. And another neat thing, you can plug in your Walkman, and then whatever vibrations, she likes this a lot. Okay, plug it into the 220, guys.
That's amazing.
You can plug it into music.
And there's heat on here, too.
There's heat on there, and it's a safety heat pad. It will only heat if you're sitting on it. And as I said, you can also run it in your car, and it's about $100.
$100? That's all? That's pretty reasonable for a gizmo like
Is
this,
that
isn't
neat?
it?
Back Maestro from Homedics.
Very nice. Interesting. Well, what was your favorite item that you saw there?
Let's see. Well, you know, I like everything. I thought the kettles were unique.
Kettles are
I
great.
love this, too, because this is great fun.
This is really great fun.
Vacuum cleaners, it sort of makes cleaning fun. I like everything. You know, if I don't like it, you don't see it on the table.
That's right.
Okay?
There you go. All this stuff is great. Thanks, Dick, for
You're
bringing it
welcome.
to us.
Welcome to see. I may be over the hill now that I have retired, fading away, but I'm not yet expired. Clapped out, run down, too old to save, 1 foot in the grave.
Meldrew. What put Mavis on then? I don't care if she is reproving a yashmak. I want to speak.
If coming from the Midwest, unfortunately, you have one more day to suffer through triple-digit heat and high humidity, but by Wednesday it looks like we're going to take about 10 degrees or so off the temperatures, and they'll probably only reach about the lower 90s on Wednesday.
Although that's going to feel great compared to what we've had. What's causing this?
We had a Bermuda high, which everyone in the Northeast is familiar with, that you get all this heat pumping up from the southeast and from the Gulf, and that basically extended its stay over the eastern U.S. through the holiday weekend. It basically celebrated the 4th with us, and thanks to that high, we've had the heat just build day after day after day, and now we're finally going to get that colder air to come back in.
So for folks who like to blame these things on global warming and all sorts of things, is this normal? Is this natural?
It's natural in that triple-digit heat occurs about once every 5 to 10 years in the Northeast, and some of the records we broke actually went back into the 19-teens, so it's not unheard of. With global warming, though, if the predictions that we're hearing come true, we may have more frequency of these heat waves. So instead of coming maybe every 5-10 years, it may come every 2 to 5 years instead.
Quickly, any sense on whether this is going to continue the rest of the summer?
Well, at least the rest of the summer should be above average temperature-wise, so you run the risk of getting more heat waves, and also you're going to stay fairly dry as far as a lack of rainfall.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kevin Roth, for joining us this morning from the Weather Channel in Atlanta. Stay cool.
Thanks.
Firefighters along the Colorado and Utah border are battling a wildfire that has engulfed about 8,000 acres. The blaze grew out of 2 smaller fires that were pushed together by strong winds on Sunday. Officials say rough terrain is hampering containment efforts. President Clinton today brings his effort to attract business to some of the nation's poorest areas to the Mississippi Delta. From Memphis, where he arrived last night, Mr. Clinton will travel to Mississippi to discuss potential investment in the region. The president began his 4-day cross-country tour yesterday in Kentucky, where he helped unveil some business assistance programs.
Authorities say a 2-state drive-by shooting spree blamed on a white supremacist could have claimed even more victims. Police in Salem, Illinois say Benjamin Smith was heading toward a 4th of July gathering of 2,000 people, and the goal was to stop him. But in the words of one officer, he did that for us. Here's ABC's Jim Williams.
For Benjamin Smith, the end came in a stolen van as police chased him on a road in southern Illinois. Smith fired his final 3 shots at himself.
The guy shot himself while he was driving, ran off the road over a culvert and run into a building.
The last shot came while Smith struggled with police in the van, which he carjacked from a woman and her child at this gas station.
He pulled a weapon, pointed it at her head, and told her to get out of the van.
Left behind, the Ford Taurus witnesses say the gunman used to commit the shootings over the 4th of July weekend. Smith drove hundreds of miles in 2 states, targeting minorities, blacks, Asians, Jews. 2 were killed, 9 others were wounded. 15-year-old Ephraim Wolf was shot in the leg as he walked on a Chicago street.
The bullet was shot into my bone. It's still inside. It's going to be there for us until the day I die.
A more detailed portrait of Benjamin Smith is starting to emerge. He grew up in Wilmette, Illinois, a well-to-do suburb of Chicago, a quiet and average student at one of the area's best high schools.
But as Benjamin Smith started college, there were signs of trouble. He withdrew from the University of Illinois after being cited for drug possession and domestic violence.
He later was admitted into Indiana University, where he was a very public member of a hate group, the World Church of the Creator. Last year, he passed out racist flyers on campus.
He was very active. He was continually putting out flyers. He wrote letters to the editors of both the Indiana Daily Student and the local newspaper.
Smith was ordered to stop passing out the flyers at the school, but he continued off campus. He also distributed the materials back in his hometown of Wilmette.
It was shocking and fearful. You do get a feeling of fright. You can't help it.
Despite being closely watched by police and by those who follow hate groups, Benjamin Smith's most recent brush with the law was for littering. Jim Williams, ABC News, Chicago.
Taking a look at the weather, and who doesn't want to do that? Thunderstorms from the Central Plains through the Midwest to New England. The Gulf Coast will get scattered storms. Another scorcher of the day in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states. There'll be more record highs expected in New York and in Washington. Temperatures will be 10 degrees cooler in the Great Lakes and Midwest. Here's the National Temperature Index, local forecasts, and scuba diving off Grand Cayman Island.
World News Now weather, brought to you by the Wall Street Journal.
What sets some people apart? Gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms? It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-544-6400. That's 800-544-6400 for the Wall Street Journal.
While some folks couldn't sleep, you were peacefully sleeping thanks to new Simply Sleep from the makers of Tylenol PM. It's non-habit forming and eases you into a restful night's sleep. New Simply Sleep.
It's barbecue season, the busiest time of the year for your deck, which is why you should protect it with Thompson's Wood Protector. Nothing we make works harder, longer. For rain, sun, mildew, or low-flying meat, Thompson's Wood Protector, it never takes a day off.
Lindsay never cleans her shower, yet it's sparkling clean every time she gets in it.
because she's discovered new formula Tilex Fresh Shower brand. After her shower, she sprays a gentle mist, never scrubbing or even rinsing. Look at the difference. Soap scum builds up if you don't use Tilex Fresh Shower. Try new formula Tilex Fresh Shower. The difference is clear.
There are at least 100 questions every homebuyer should ask. Like, how much down payment do I need? Can I buy a $200,000 home with an FHA loan? Do I really need homeowners insurance? Luckily, HUD's FHA has the answers. We've helped 25 million Americans buy a home. Call for our free brochure.
Save a place for me. Save a space for me. In your heart.
Every year, the United Negro College Fund helps thousands of students go to college. But for everyone we help, there's one we can't. Please support the United Negro College Fund.
4 words. Me, of course, yes. Yeah. Okay, chickens are coming to... No, Dharma and Greg are changing times on ABC. Oh, okay, I'm close. Good. Dharma and Greg are moving to Tuesday, July 20th. Yes, you got it.
Dharma and Greg moves to Tuesdays, 9/8 Central, starting July 20th on ABC.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by HUD.
In Atlanta last night, the Marlins kept catching up to the Braves. They did it in the 9th when the usually unrockable John Rocker walked in the tying run, giving it away. But in the bottom of the 9th, Atlanta's Brett Boone hit a line drive to left that sent Bruce Avon diving. Nice try. That scored a run, and the Braves won the game 6-5.
Gerald Williams has delivered the...
You can trust me to stick politics right in the middle of a sports report or pretty much anything else. Fortunately, it's easy this time because Bill Bradley, the former basketball star for the New York Knicks and a former Democratic senator, is now running for president. And his old buddy, the new Lakers coach, is helping him out. We get our political coverage this time from ESPN's Sal Paolantonio.
Some people say that he accepted the Lakers' offer because he thinks they can win a championship. Other people say because they paid him whatever, umpteen $1 million. But really he accepted the offer with the Lakers because this is a part of my Southern California strategy.
They arrived together in New York as rookies, and they roomed together. On the road, they were soulmates, once visiting an Indian reservation in Jackson's home state of North Dakota. They formed a special bond that has brought them together again as Bradley campaigns for the Democratic presidential nomination.
Phil's appeared at a number of events with me, and we're old friends.
You can see
he can
he's stiff.
testify.
See how stiff he is?
He
I'm
can
kind of giving him
testify.
little stuff.
He can always hold me honest. You know, he can tell me when I'm not quite on my game, when I need to move a little bit to the right, to the left, up and down. He's just a special friend.
Down 2-1 in the polls to Vice President Gore, Bill Bradley is banking that Jackson's star power will raise his profile. And now that Jackson's head coach of the Lakers raised some money, especially here in L.A.
If I can help them raise money, right now that's the energy or the power that goes into making the candidate.
Bradley has found a whole new source of money. The politics business, we call it jock dollars.
Via Jackson, jock dollars have flowed into Bradley's coffers. Campaign reports show that Michael Jordan and his wife Juanita gave Bradley the federal limit of $1,000 each. In March, Jackson held a fundraiser in Chicago that helped Bradley raise over $1 million, about 1/4 of what Bradley has raised nationwide thus far. A coach on the stump isn't new. Joe Paterno supported George Bush, but Jackson's commitment to Bradley has been more hands-on. In the spring, he traveled through Iowa at the site of the first caucus against Gore next year to help build Bradley's grassroots operation.
It was a great challenge, actually, that kind of laid out for me to go to Iowa and be part of that campaign out there because it takes teamwork to run those caucuses.
Actually, for the next few months, Jackson will be working on his own campaign, trying to convince Shaquille O'Neal and the Lakers to buy into his brand of basketball. But Bradley has already promised him a job in Washington.
He'd be a Secretary of Defense. But now with the Lakers, he won't have that chance. He'll just have to be the Laker coach.
Well, they have to learn defense, that's for damn sure.
Dumb jocks, that's what I say. No, Bill Bradley is very smart. He's a very smart man.
I was just going to say.
He's a former Rhodes Scholar, and Phil Jackson seems pretty smart.
I was just going to say, Phil Jackson's no dummy.
You know what it'd be like? It'd be like electing an actor president.
Yeah, why would we do that?
That's how silly that seems, former professional basketball player. And Bill Clinton, former governor. Makes sense. Sure.
Well, who else should we elect?
That is sports for
Beavis
this
and
half
Butthead?
hour.
I don't know. When we come back, boys and their toys.
$1,000 are not lightweight, but the idea here is you can actually drop a cup.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Now, get the best selection of Sealy, Simmons, Serta, and King Coil at incredibly low prices. Lower than department stores and lower than any sleep shop. Call the original Dial-A mattress, the #1 mattress retailer in the country, for value, quality, and service. Call 1-800-MATTRESS today during our giant 4th of July sale.
1-800-MATTRES. Here are some of the stories we're following this morning. Much of the country suffered through sizzling temperatures during a third day of heat warnings. People in Chicago tried as best they could to endure. And record highs were set up and down the Atlantic coast. The Philippine government renewed warnings to people to stay away from the Mayon volcano, which is about 200 miles southeast of Manila. It stirred to life last week after 6 years of dormancy. Moscow and NATO reached an agreement that allows Russian troops to participate in the peacekeeping mission in Kosovo. The first of 3,600 Russian troops reportedly left this morning.
The PC Expo recently closed right here in New York. That's where computer makers and computer gizmo makers get together to show off their new stuff. You might see some of that stuff on the other networks, complete with their fancy schmancy guests from places like PC World or Wired Magazine. But us, we don't need no stinking computer magazines. We're going to Mad Magazine, whose creative consultant, Dick DeBartolo, just happens to be our own gizmo guy. Dick, welcome. We have so much to go through.
So much
Let's get to it.
Okay, this is brand new from Compaq, this new laptop. And what's neat about this guy is it's just booting up here. We have the CD-ROM and the floppy drive down here, but you want to go on the road, so what you do is you click this little guy over here, and you can take the little laptop part with you. It weighs under 3 pounds. Okay, when you get back to your desk. Oh, the neat thing about this guy is a lot of the lightweight computers, you need to use a port replicator. But on the back of this Compaq, you have all your connections right there.
No port replicator needed.
No port.
Plug in.
The man is so professional.
Sure.
Okay, that's going to be under $2,200, and that's coming in August. Compaq
3 pounds.
Presario.
Good battery life.
Good battery life. I don't know about the battery life because it's not yet on the market.
Got it. All right.
Okay. You need storage. Everybody with a computer needs storage. This is the Click Drive, and this little guy here is a Click Disk. I hear bells. One Click Disk holds more than the information on 25 floppies.
You're telling me that all of this information can be held right there.
Every byte fits on this. Then this guy goes in here. You can plug it in your PC slot, or this is going to go on endlessly here. On your desktop, you can get a Click Drive. So you take the Click Disk, put it in there. You can read it on your desktop.
Right.
If you have a lot of photos, digital photos, you put the card from the camera manufacturer here and the Click Disk in here, copy your photos over onto a Click Disk.
So lots of data storage in a tiny little space between the PC and the...
Absolutely. And even more storage with the Zip, the iOmega Zip 250. This is the same as 170 floppies. Okay?
Which we don't even have room for.
They're under the table, okay? And that's what the Zip drive looks like.
And now, I'm sorry, how much does that cost?
Under $200. a click disk for the PC card slot under 200, and for your desktop under 200.
And you can't put a price on storage, really.
You cannot. I'm going to have that put in a needlepoint. That's excellent. This is new from Brother. It is a complete portable printer for the road. Also works through the card slot on your PC. It's a little photo that we shot with a Casio 700 digital camera and printed it out on this little computer.
This could not be lighter. This weighs about as much as a picture.
Well, it's about 2 pounds, some odd ounces.
A heavy picture in a big frame, but it's very light.
This man is very weight conscious, okay? Brand new from Brother.
When you're traveling, weight matters.
Weight is everything.
Sure.
Adobe sort of owns the photo market in photo retouching. Well, Adobe Photo 5 has been a big hit. Well, at PC Expo, they introduced Photo 5.5. A lot of web applications, if you're designing web pages, and that runs $500 to $600. But for your home, Adobe Photo Deluxe, that only runs about $50 or $60. But something brand new from Adobe, they're working with Kodak. When you drop your pictures off now, you tell them you want a photo CD. This will have all your photos on it, and it also has Adobe software built into the CD. So get in there, erase the red eye.
Sure.
Doctor your photos, okay?
Fix my hair.
Fix your... Yeah. I think you need the deluxe version.
Yeah.
Nothing
bad about deluxe.
Nothing bad about deluxe. Print Shop from Hewlett-Packard lets you download web pages, tell it you don't want ads or you want a different typeface.
How much does that cost?
$50.
$50 for
Desktop
no ads.
DNA, you get a new computer, you want all your old settings, all your old programs copied over. DNA will do it for you. Available around Christmas, about $50 to $60 for the individual owner. We'll be shipping soon for corporations that want to boot up like 5 to 25 new
Christmas
computers.
99.
Christmas 99, not the Millennium.
Yeah.
Go Back, I'm using Go Back already. This is really great. Your computer crashes, you tell Go Back to go back an hour ago, and it resets your computer up the way it was an hour ago prior to the crash. Or someone sends you a virus, you tell it to go back 3 hours ago before the virus, and it reconfigures your computer to the way it was before.
What would Christopher Lloyd say about that?
Christopher Lloyd would say, I like it.
Yeah, okay.
Go Back uses about 10% of your memory. It's about $50 to $60, but it's really great. Use it several times already. If you're worried about your own Y2K problem, www.maxell.com. You can print out the Y2K survival guide. And finally, you were saying that you do nothing much at the office but watch movies.
Pretty much part of my job.
Okay. Well, this is brand new from Panasonic. DVD movie. Let's see if this guy is up and running here.
Storage, DNA, don't really understand. But movies?
Movies, you understand movies. And incredible picture on this guy.
That's Sound of Music.
I don't think quite. No. Try True Lies. The DVD player from Panasonic is going to be under $500 coming in September, and we're showing it on what's called the Tough Note. Actually, in another spot, we poured a glass of water on this guy, and it survived. Don't do that with your regular computer. They run $3,000 to $5,000. They're not lightweights, but the idea here is you can actually drop a tough book and nothing will happen to it. But we're not going to try it.
Can you watch a movie, say, on an airplane or in a car ride with enough battery power to...
You can, on the battery, well, first of all, this one has 3 battery bays, but on a single battery, you'll probably get enough for about 1 full-length feature, about 2 hours and 20 minutes.
And is there a lot of titles available in this format?
In DVD, there are a lot coming now.
I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but this is a beautiful picture.
The fidelity's amazing, and as you know, I learned from you that in first class, you can plug these things
plug it right in.
into a seat.
Dick DeBartolo, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, showing us all these great toys. We're going to go divide them up now.
Yeah.
And you're watching World News.
The sun will rise. Winter will come. And water will taste as clear and fresh today as it did
That's only $3.33 a square foot. For an absolutely free estimate, call 1-800-600-5400. That's 1-800-600-5400. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. 1-800-600-5400.
Pamela Anderson-Lee, plus the Chubb Club Summer Vacation. Next, Rosie.
A prisoner released in Israel, another step toward peace in the Middle East.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Now.
The release is part of the latest peace deal between Israel and the Palestinians. Good morning from New York. I'm Anderson Cooper.
And I'm Bertha Coombs. Also ahead on this half hour, safe harbor in a storm of violence, the UN compound in East Timor. And necessity is the mother of invention, and we've got one of the judges. We begin with the Middle East.
Well, Israel took the first step in implementing its new peace deal with the Palestinians today. It released 200 Palestinian prisoners. 150 more will be released next month. All were being held for anti-Israeli acts, and all signed a pledge not to revert to violence. The prisoner releases had been a sticking point in Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. The next stage of the deal will be for Israel to hand over 7% of the West Bank by this weekend.
An explosion ripped through a 9-story apartment building in Moscow early this morning, killing at least 16 people and injuring dozens. More than 100 people may be trapped in the rubble. A natural gas leak is suspected, but police said they could not rule out the possibility of a bomb. The United Nations has delayed the evacuation of its compound in the capital of East Timor until at least tomorrow. People continue fleeing the capital, which has been a killing field since a vote for independence last week. Here's ABC's Nathan Thomas.
Despite the delay in pulling out, the United Nations is faced with two choices in East Timor: send in international troops to take control, or abandon its last compound in the capital of Dili, leaving civilians sheltering there to the militias and their reign of terror that the Indonesian army refuses to stop.
The question is not the capability of Indonesia to restore order. The question is the will of Indonesia to restore order.
It's not ethnic cleansing, but political. The Indonesian Navy has shipped at least 60,000 East Timorese to West Timor. These are the people who less than 2 weeks ago voted overwhelmingly for independence from Indonesia. Now they are refugees. I had to hide from the militias for 2 days, this woman said. I was separated from my husband. We lost everything. So far, a delegation of UN ambassadors in Jakarta has had no success convincing the Indonesian government to accept help. The international community hesitates to send in troops without an invitation, and U.S. officials are not eager for another unending peacekeeping mission.
Because we bombed in Kosovo doesn't mean we should bomb Dili.
The United States is not planning on any insertion of peacekeeping forces.
In Jakarta, East Timor has become a crisis for Indonesia's first civilian president. There are protests against his government for allowing the violence and bloodshed in East Timor, and demonstrations like this attack on the Australian embassy against any international intervention. There is also now concern that President Habibie may no longer control Indonesia's generals, and there are rumors and speculation he may resign or be ousted by the military. Bertha?
So, Nathan, the government before the election said that they would abide by the results. Why is the government, or I guess the military, now not enforcing it?
Well, that's actually the problem. There is the civilian elected, democratically elected government, and then there is the military. The military certainly doesn't want to go along with this. It appears that they're using East Timor as a warning to other groups in Indonesia. Don't think about independence, you're not going to get it. Bertha?
All right, Nathan Thomas reporting from London. Thank you very much.
And the FBI is reportedly looking into how American Home Products won federal approval for its diet drug Redux. Published reports say the FBI wants to know if the manufacturer fully disclosed possible side effects to the FDA. Redux was pulled from the market in 1997 after it was linked to heart valve problems. Democratic presidential candidate Bill Bradley today takes his campaign to Iowa, the site of this winter's presidential caucuses. He'll be meeting voters there one day after officially kicking off his drive for the White House in Crystal City, Missouri. Here's ABC's Liz Cho.
On the steps of his old high school, where Bill Bradley once reigned as a basketball king, the former New Jersey senator spelled out his campaign message, one that he says promises something more for Americans.
Now, above all, is not the time for complacency. I feel an urgency to seize this moment in history, to strengthen the weak, and to challenge the strong to lead us into our full greatness as a nation.
Bradley says he's offering something new to Democratic voters tired of the Clinton-Gore era.
I'm more interested in leadership than polls and politics. And I believe we need a new kind of leadership. a new kind of leadership. A leadership that puts the people front and center, not the president.
Bradley played for the New York Knicks for 10 years, winning a championship ring. He returned to his hometown, a close-knit community, and precisely the reason why he chose this backdrop to announce his bid, hoping that Americans will remember his small-town roots.
To me, the American dream is not just for the lucky among us. It's not just an ideal to wish on. It should be a possibility available to all.
Bradley also has strong financial backing, raising more than $11 million with the help of his NBA friends and Democrats who are looking for something new. Liz Cho, ABC News, Crystal City, Missouri.
The latest star to have a platinum hit record won't be at the MTV Awards tonight because it surprised the Pope. Double platinum, actually. John Paul received the award yesterday for selling 200,000 copies of his album, which is all sermons in Polish, that he gave during his trip to Poland in 1979.
Well, let's take now a look at the weather, shall we? There'll be storms over the northern Great Lakes, and from Texas up to New England, temperatures are very cool around the Great Lakes, with highs only in the 50s and 60s, 90s along the southern edge of the country, and some hundreds in the southwest. Here's the National Temperature Index, some international forecasts, and a visit to Bermuda.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Slim Fast Foods.
I'm a cop. I've got to be in good shape, and I've got to have a lot of energy. Working out is key. But what really helps me is Slim Fast. I've been having a shake for lunch almost every day for the past 9 years. It's quick, it's easy, it's satisfying. Slim Fast is healthy for you. It gives me what I need.
Vitamins, minerals, protein, carbs. It's great nutrition.
I have more endurance during my workout, more stamina. It's my energy drink. It makes me feel great. I love it.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
It works for me. It can work for you.
There's nothing like the way I feel after a good night's sleep. That's why I love my Tylenol PM. For me, there's just no reason to have trouble sleeping. I take Tylenol PM before bed. It stops my pain and helps me sleep. So I'm ready for another great day.
Look what's for dinner.
Manwich!
You guys had a long practice today, huh?
Yeah.
Your drawing is fantastic.
Well, she gets that from me.
Hey, Mom, can I have another manwich?
Of course.
The sounds of family mealtime, brought to you by Manwich.
Let's see which bag has the tighter seal, Glad or this expensive Ziploc slider bag.
Glad to help. My Glad is double locked for extra security.
Ooh, my Ziploc slider is dripping. Wait a minute.
Yep, my Glad makes me feel much more secure.
Excuse me, a little help here?
The double lock green seal, only Glad has it.
I sure am glad I got Glad.
Dripping, dripping.
So what's it gonna be, Glad or Ziploc?
Can I borrow a cup of water?
Don't get mad, get Glad.
Getting those urban cowboys on horses was trying enough. And you throw in some serious chili, we're talking major heartburn. We were way out there, and this cowboy, he pulls this Zantac 75 out of his saddlebag. I said, what are you, a Zantac salesman? He said, no, I'm a doctor.
The medicine in Zantac 75 is the #1 doctor-prescribed acid reducer. It relieves even your toughest heartburn, controlling acid for up to 12 hours.
Hats off to you, Doc.
Zantac 75 for tough heartburn. Doctors know.
Hey, I'm at the hottest club in Chicago to talk about dandruff. Hey, anyone got dandruff?
No, I haven't.
Oh, say no.
Yeah, whatever. Someone's lying. Oh, flakes are normal and they're easy to get rid of, big guy. Hey, you want to get shampooed with Dandruff Control Perk Plus?
Oh, serious? It's like 12 o'clock at night.
It helps prevent dandruff. So even if you don't have it, you won't have it. And I think you're going to want to use it on a regular basis.
I love it. So nice.
Oh, baby! That's Perk Plus Dandruff Control. Come on, let us wash your hair. We can change your mind.
The lights are much better there.
You can forget all your troubles,
Forget all your cares. So go downtown.
things will be great.
When you're downtown, everything's way.
Good Morning America's moving to Times Square next Monday.
Okay, her night on the town clothes looked like this. And with him, you know, it's just cash. Her first love was David Cassidy, and his, Cameron Diaz. So, how did two people from two generations end up in one bed?
Is this what you meant when you said you wanted children?
Then Came You, ABC Thursdays this fall.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by Pert Plus.
Okay, it's a time of year when you got to do new math to figure out sports. The Cleveland Indians have clinched their 5th straight AL title. They lost 3-0 to the Texas Rangers last night, but after they left the park, the second-place Chicago White Sox lost to Anaheim and were mathematically eliminated. Now, the Arizona Diamondbacks have a 7.5-game lead in the NL West. Steve Finley became the 15th player this season to hit 3 dingers back-to-back, gone. Zona clobbered the Milwaukee Brewers 9-1 last night, and there will be a quiz after this on those scores. Earlier this week, ESPN celebrated its 20th anniversary. We showed you their first day on the air. Wasn't that great? A couple days ago, so here's a look at ESPN in the 90s.
The first sporting event to be affected by the war was tonight's North Carolina State game.
Made a joint decision to cancel tonight's game. The decision was made in the context of putting sports in its proper perspective in our society.
For Jack Edwards, I'm Tom Mees. November 7th, 1991.
About an hour ago, Magic Johnson walked into a group of assembled media, teammates, and friends and told us all the news that we had hoped we would not hear.
The HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers.
His doctor says Johnson does not yet have AIDS-related complex.
It's a devastating piece of news, not only for the world of sports, but for all of us.
A new beginning.
After 9 days of testimony and 50 witnesses,
the jury had returned to Judge Patricia Gifford's courtroom, and it was guilty on all 3 counts for Mike Tyson.
It is believed to be the most severe conviction ever of a high-profile athlete in the history of sport.
Faithfully execute.
The year of loss in sports.
He is the latest prominent victim of the random terror of AIDS.
We appreciate you being here and letting us mourn with you. We leave you now with some thoughts and some memories of the late, great Arthur Ashe. God bless.
The Cleveland Indians confronting a tragedy with many dimensions.
The boating accident that killed teammates Steve Olin and Tim Cruz and left Bob Ojeda in critical but stable condition.
10 days after the boat crash that killed Steve Olin and Tim Cruz, Alan Kulwicki was killed Thursday night when a private plane he was aboard crashed and caught fire.
In a year in which unexpected death has been an all too dominant story in sports.
The helicopter he was piloting crashed at Talladega Motor Speedway.
And at 7 o'clock this morning, the neurosurgeon said that Davey Allison met all the signs and symptoms of clinical death.
Reggie Lewis died Tuesday night. The 27-year-old Boston Celtic captain who collapsed during a game 3 months ago collapsed again Tuesday.
The airwaves of Boston on Tuesday night were dominated by a single sentiment, that Reggie Lewis was much more than just the captain of the Celtics.
They don't just do sports, they really do pretty good news, too. Yeah. That's sports for this half hour.
When we come back, the secrets of new inventions.
Veggies or fresh fruit in, like Rocco has a grape, so it's sort of a nutritious way.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
We're everywhere that matters. Where news happens and life is on the line. Channel 7 Eyewitness News. We're everywhere. Every second, every day. From the halls of power to streets of gold. From the fields of heroes to the skies above. We're everywhere you need us to be. That's why Eyewitness News is #1. From the heart of the city to towns all around. We're there first with the best for you. Everywhere. This is Eyewitness News.
Here's some of the stories we're following this morning. Israel has set free 200 Palestinian prisoners, meeting the first condition of its latest peace deal. 150 more will be turned loose in a few weeks. The digging continues for survivors of the earthquake in Athens. Rescue teams from Turkey, usually Greece's bitter rival, are helping at a collapsed factory where as many as 30 workers may be buried. And an extra long summer vacation ends today for public school students in Detroit. The striking teachers union voted yesterday to come back to work. A final vote on their new contract will come later this month.
As it nears a close, this century is being remembered for its technological innovations and inventors, such as the Ronco family, and lots of people whose names apparently end in -matic. Hammacher Schlemmer, which boasts the introduction of the pop-up toaster and microwave oven, is now looking for new inventions. They will announce the winner of their invention contest today. Yesterday, one of their judges, our own Dick DeBartolo, looked at the entries.
Oh, excuse me. I'm working. I'm a judge in the Hammacher Schlemmer Search for Invention contest. And this is the water massaging heated water bed. And it's from Victor Nelson. And Victor, I like this, but I need more research. I'll be back in about 8 hours. Melba Steiner invented the freestanding extension ladder. Push it up to wherever you want. When you get to the point you want, let it down. It locks into place. And then you go up. It has a 6-point holding pattern here at the bottom. Fortunately, we only have 2 of the points in the holding position here. But that's okay, because I can still reach the point I have to. You know, here at the Disney company, we all sort of have to double and triple up. So I have to dust here and then change the light bulbs. So Bertha, you're in your office and Peter Jennings calls. You want a little privacy? You don't have to get up to close the door. You have your executive door closer. Just hit the remote control and the door closes automatically. That was invented by Louis Arnell. They don't have the door slammer invented yet for when you're really angry. Probably next year. Hey, kids love their cookies. Well, how about something healthy? Rocco loves cookies. Rocco, reach in there and have a, not a cookie. It's a grape, because this is called Veggie Jar, a little refrigerated jar. You can put veggies or fresh fruit in, like Rocco has a grape. So it's sort of a nutritious way for kids to snack and don't have to go into the refrigerator. That's from Pamela Freeman. Oh, yeah, now she shows up. So you're in the supermarket. The whole time you're shopping, it's bright and sunny. You pay for your groceries. You head for the door. What happens? You suddenly start feeling, I'm feeling rain now, and it's amazing because I'm indoors. But it doesn't matter, because James Mick has invented the shopping cart canopy. Just before you go out, you just unfold it, put it down over your groceries, and everything stays bone dry. Isn't that neat? You got it, Ed. Ed, you got it. Oh, Ed, you don't got it. Hey, this is really neat. This is the Aerolon tricycle invented by Wayne Suhu. Takes a bit of getting used to, but Bob Kiefer here, he's really got a handle on this. He's only used it for a couple minutes, but look, you steer by leaning into it. So that's really fun. So it's great exercise, and it's very stable, and the inventor said it works very well on snow and slippery pavement. Meanwhile, back at the wrench, build a better mousetrap? How about build the better adjustable wrench? This guy is the cordless wrench. I love this guy. You're outdoors and it's cold. Doesn't matter. You have those big work gloves on. Look at that. Still easy to use. Want to pick up that nut? Just put this down. Pick the nut up. It's totally adjustable, even rechargeable, and that's from John Picone, the electric adjustable cordless wrench. This was invented by John Lawrence. You hook a garden hose up here, then the water goes down into that little device. And what is that little device? It's the portable automatic undercarriage washer. Basically, it goes under your car. In the winter, this is a great way to wash off the salt. And the salt, you know, corrodes the undercarriage. So this could save you a lot of money. But I got to get myself a little better car. This is called the speech enhancer, invented by Thomas David Keyhole. He stuttered, and he found by feeding your own voice back into your ear, it cured it. And you can use it to cure a variety of speech impediments. But for now,
Anderson Cooper, I am your father, and I'm proud of you most of the time.
municipalities use ozone to purify water. Well, Alan Burris has found a way to bring a unit shrunken down into your own home. Just pour in water. This will sit on a countertop. Close the door, press the button, and a little ozone generator goes to work purifying that water. You know, if you see fish in there, your water is polluted. You know, everybody says life is speeding up too fast, a microwave oven, you cook dinner in 30 seconds. Well, that's not the case. With the solar-powered oven, what you do is you blow up this bag, you put the pot comes with it, comes on that little stand. As the sun beats down, it will heat the food that's in your pot. So you go out on a little hiking trip, you come back to your campsite, you'll have hot stew. If it's a cloudy day, you're going to have cold sandwiches. And that was invented by Jonathan and O'Malley Stauman. Hey, Dr. Sanaiko has a great invention. If you want to firm your abdominal muscles, this is the biofeedback system for training those abdominal muscles. Hook it up to a CD player or a cassette player. Then when you put on the headphones, the tighter your abdominal muscles, the louder the sound. Okay, I got it on now. I'm tightening those massive muscles. I'm hearing nothing. I'm tightening them more, and I'm hearing silence, actually. Well, for World News Now, this is the Gizmo guy, Dick DeBartolo, on his way to the gym.
I was going to say sit-ups would be the other invention to tighten your abdominal muscles.
I don't know if we can let him fly solo anymore. That was a little out of control.
I don't know.
I am your father. That was very scary.
Very scary thought.
Very, very scary.
That was ABC's gadget guy, Dick DeBartolo, hard at work judging the Hammacher-Schlemmer invention contest.
You are watching World News Now.
At All Days Freshness takes me to a new perspective, on a different path, through open doors.
Take All Days Freshness with you with individually wrapped All Days panty liners. A unique core and fresh weave help absorb moisture and odor. And they're wrapped for freshness anytime, anywhere.
For a joyride to important gatherings, to another world.
Individually wrapped All Days panty liners from Always. Feeling fresh is being free.
As early light breaks through. Music
on a stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
Hello?
Bill, Jimmy Miller died. He left his wife and kids with a big mortgage, no savings, and no life insurance. Bill, do we have enough coverage?
Chances are you can more than double your current term life insurance without paying 1 penny more in premiums. Just call Best Quote. We'll rush you a free, no-obligation rate comparison containing quotes from 5 of the nation's top-rated insurers. Right now, a 35-year-old non-smoking male can get $250,000 of term life for about $11.90 a month, guaranteed 10 years. If that's less than you're currently paying, simply call Best Quote at this number. Your free rate comparison will be prepared and rushed to you at once.
Honey, it's Bill. I just heard from Best Quote. We can double my coverage and get coverage for you as well.
Call Best Quote today at 1-800-942-9977. There's no obligations and no hassles. Simply the best insurance at the best rates from Best Quote. Call 1-800-942-9977. No salesperson will ever call you.
Sans soleil, la fleur périt, et puis s'évanouit. Oh, quel
Introducing Slim Fast Cappuccino Delight. One taste, and you'll fall in love. Made with rich imported coffee, fat-free milk, cool, smooth. There's never been a more irresistible way to lose weight and feel great. New Slim Fast Cappuccino Delight. Taste it and fall in love.
Hey, we need to talk. I know we agreed to use blue tablets so my water looks nice. And we were right, blue is great, but confidentially, I really get embarrassed by odors. Well, Clorox has a new blue tablet that's for odors too. New Clorox Rain Clean Blue Automatic. Drop it in my tank and every flush keeps me smelling rain clean fresh. Why should I worry about odors? Why should you worry about odors?
New Clorox Rain Clean Blue. It's the blue that's for odors, too.
For the first time in NFL history, the two Super Bowl teams have opened the following season with 4 straight defeats each. In Denver, Terrell Davis burst through the middle to give the Broncos an early lead over the Jets. But later in the first quarter, Brian Griese, throwing from the shotgun, was intercepted by Victor Green, who was finally knocked out of bounds. But not before Terrell Davis was hurt on the play. Davis could be out for the season. He will undergo an MRI on his knee. The Jets went on to win 21-13, Rick Myra hitting Cedric Ward for the clinching Jets touchdown. The defending NFC champions, the Atlanta Falcons, had a wrestling match with the Baltimore Ravens and a loss to the Ravens. In the third quarter, Baltimore's Stoney Case threw 52 yards to Patrick Johnson, who caught it for the touchdown. Johnson did a dance, which made Atlanta cornerback Ray Buchanan a little unhappy. He threw Johnson to the ground, and then he got thrown from the game. When the game ended up in overtime, Case went long to Justin Armour for a dramatic ending, Baltimore winning 19-13. If it wasn't for last season, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa would have looked pretty darn spectacular this year. They finished in St. Louis with the Cubs playing the Cards in a rain-shortened game. McGwire blasted his 65th home run to straightaway center field, 5 short of his 70 of last year, but 4 past Roger Maris's old record. Sosa followed shortly with his home run number 63. But for all their feats, both of their teams had awful seasons, and the game itself was meaningless. It had some meaning, however, for the very popular Willie McGee, who has said he will likely retire after this season. He was called on to pinch hit into a double play, and he got a standing ovation nevertheless as the Cards won 9-5. That's the sports for now.
You know, there are a lot of these athletes who are running for president or for other political office.
Well, Warren Beatty's an athlete of sorts.
Well, we've got Jesse Ventura, right?
Right.
You're right. They're not all running for president. Arnold Schwarzenegger, former bodybuilder, says he's interested. Gary Johnson.
He can't run for president, though, because he wasn't born here.
Very good point.
Yeah, but
you're like our constitutional scholar and
But I think right now,
sidekick for
actually,
this
that
week.
Steve Young from the San Francisco 49ers, who suffered a concussion a week ago, he should stop playing football. He wants to be a politician. Let him go run. I think he can pass better than Jack Kemp, and now we can find out whether or not he could run better
Jack
than
Kemp
Jack
is another great example of another athlete. But this man is an Iron Man, according to Time magazine. Gary Johnson of New Mexico wants to run as well. Lots of athletes becoming.
Oh, Watts is in Congress. Largent is in Congress. And of
Steve
course,
Largent,
the greatest
former quarterback
athlete of them
for the
all.
Seattle Seahawks.
The greatest athlete of them all, Strom Thurmond. I think that's all the sports for this half hour and the news.
Although I do know he lifts weights. I read that once in
That's
a profile
exactly
of him.
what I meant. I'm so
and
glad.
bicycling.
I'm so glad you picked that up.
But the bicycle isn't going anywhere. It's stationary when we
and
come
so
back.
is he sometimes.
When we come back, playing with toys. Man toys, that is.
Remove 100% of dust mites and a lot of the pollen. That's new from Hoover, as low as $149. That's called CaddyVac. This is called Secure Start. This is really neat.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Nothing is changing. Everything's wrong. Pain is the healing, and tears sting like alcohol. Oh, just keep on there breathing. We'll help you down a long, long road back.
And here are some of the stories we're following this morning. Vice President Al Gore is standing by his friend and campaign chairman, Tony Coelho. A State Department report accuses Coelho of financial misconduct in an unpaid job representing the U.S. overseas. Parents are rallying in support of striking teachers in Yonkers, New York. School has been canceled for the 26,000 students while teachers strike over longer class periods and shorter breaks. And the Census Department says a growing number of Americans have no health insurance. 44 million were uninsured last year, about a million more than the previous year. Young adults and part-time workers are the most likely to lack coverage.
If Microsoft makes software, I presume Micro-Hard makes hardware. As you can tell, my knowledge of hardware is severely limited. But Dick DeBartolo, who is not related to the San Francisco 49ers, he has unlimited knowledge. He's been to the National Hardware Show, and he's here to share his knowledge and his tools.
Some great stuff, yeah. There were 66,000 retailers who went to search 12 miles of aisles to find stuff that we'll buy between now and Christmas.
I like miles of aisles. That has a ring to it.
Miles of aisles.
Yes.
Vacuums are still a big seller, so companies are always coming up with new ways to enhance vacuum cleaners. This is new from Hoover. They call it CaddyVac. It's the slide-on, slide-off tool caddy. So if you're doing a complete household job, you take everything with you. If you're just doing some rugs, you slide the caddy off, hang it on the closet where the vacuum was, and just use the vacuum cleaner.
Well, in England, you know, they still use hoovering as a verb.
As a verb,
so
exactly.
Will they start saying caddying?
They might. In England, they might.
Yeah, but in Scotland, caddying will still be caddying.
And it has a 4-stage filter to remove 100% of dust mites and a lot of the pollen. That's new from Hoover. As low as $149. That's called CaddyVac. This is called Secure Start. This is really a neat guy. This goes in the trunk of your car. This is the latest in battery technology called thin metal film. Has a little flashlight here, but the important thing is this little light. It's green. That means if your battery is dead, take this out under the hood. This goes on to the positive side of your battery. This goes on to any bare metal under the car hood or your RV motorcycle, and this will start your car.
I don't have a car. It won't start my car.
We'll buy you a car. It stays charged for a year, and after you use it, you can recharge it from an AC outlet. Comes with an adapter, or from your car. $99 went on sale just 2 days ago at Sears. Also be in the Neiman Marcus catalog.
I just want the flashlight part. Just to keep the rest.
That's an expensive flashlight. It's about $99. This is new from First Alert. It's a carbon monoxide alarm. What's neat about this guy, since an alarm is not sounding now, the window is just showing that it's on. But if you have a carbon monoxide alert, it'll actually hold the highest number when the alarm went off. So if you call emergency people and they come in and they go, we don't detect carbon monoxide in here, you just hit the peak level indicator, and in that window, it'll tell you what the level got up to.
Well, carbon monoxide is odorless, right?
It's odorless, and you'll never know it's in the house.
So it's sort of like vodka. I mean, you can have a vodka, you know.
This doesn't detect that.
Oh, okay. But I can.
Okay. First Alert, about $45, and that's on sale now. This is from Zircon. This is called the eye sensor. This little guy is a stud finder. Oh, it works.
Boy, does it not work.
The amazing thing about this, about the size of a candy bar, well, and we put it up. You know, we asked props to make us a big wall.
That's
so
a
this
lie
is the prop
detector
wall. So it has a little thing called TrueCal. It's a little hard to do it from this angle, but you run it across, and when you get to the stud, it lights up green. Then you do it from the other side, find the center. That's where you want to hang pictures because you know you're nailing into wood. And the great thing about eye sensor, by the way, it comes in lots of colors, and it's going to be under $10. That'll be out between now and the end of October, okay?
Can I walk around with this and say the end of the world is near, the end of the world is near? No.
We'll write it on for you, okay? This is from Zelco, and it's called LumaLock XL. This is great at the airport. You're reading the newspaper, and you're not watching your luggage. Well, you should be watching your luggage. Push up on this, and a 55-inch stainless steel aircraft cable comes out. You run that through your luggage, or if you have skis, run it through the skis, whatever you want to protect. Then you lock it in place. Also, if it's dimly lit where you are, it lights up the combination so you can undo the cable and pull it out.
Or if you have a child traveling with you, you can wrap it around the child.
If you feel that way about
around the ankle, preferably.
About the child, you can. That'll be out in time for Christmas. That's going to run around $20 to $25. Food Tool is also from Zelco. This is a neat guy for picnics. There's your bottle opener there. Slide this guy out, and there's your knife. Slide the other guy out. There's your can opener and a screwdriver. Open this guy up in the middle. There is your corkscrew. Pop these little guys out at the end. Your salt and pepper shakers. So that's everything you forget when you go on a picnic, okay? That's called food.
I usually forget the food.
I'm not picnicking.
It's got everything else but that.
I'm not picnicking with you, okay? Food Tool is from Zelco, and that's going to be about $30, and that'll be out also in time for Christmas. This little guy here, I'm going to turn this on, and there we are. This is completely wireless speaker for the backyard. You can go up to 300 feet from the sound source. You can plug it in the TV, listen to TV sound out in the yard. That's from Advent. That's about $100. Let me just find that little off switch here. And we have two other guys here. This little guy is, you write on airplanes and that dinky little overhead light. Well, this is from Lumitech, and it's called Night Scribe, and it's a ball pen that lights up with two little LEDs, only $8. And our final guy is called Flip Grip. This is really neat. This is 21 tools in one. Pliers that way, flip it over, long nose pliers. All the separate little tools are down in here. And open this side, and you have your screwdrivers and your Phillips head. Put those guys in there. Use the tool this way, turn it. About $30. Okay, is any of this? Are you going to go home now and do a construction?
That doesn't look like it would do more than 20 different tools.
Well, you want to count them? Okay. This is the man who doesn't bring food to a picnic.
Dick DeBartolo, thank you for being with us.
2 times.
You are watching World Hardware.
If you're gonna laugh, laugh. If you're gonna dig in, dig in. Warm, rich, rousing baked apple. One of the new sensations from Quaker Oatmeal. Just don't hold back.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree?
In the 80s, rock music changed forever.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Presenting modern rock. 24 new wave classics. Get modern rock on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $12.99.
Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. I want candy. I want candy. In a big country, dreams stay with you like a lover's voice across the mountainside. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. You're too shy, shy, hush, hush, I do I. Too shy, shy.
Then audition other modern rock albums. Satisfaction guaranteed.
I know what boys like. I know what guys
So call now for modern rock on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes for just $12.99.
To order Modern Rock, call 1-800-959-9009 or send $12.99 for 2 cassettes or 2 CDs, plus $3.99 shipping to Modern Rock, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia. Call 1-800-959-9009. Call now.
While some folks couldn't sleep, you were peacefully sleeping thanks to new Simply Sleep from the makers of Tylenol PM. It's non-habit forming and eases you into a restful night's sleep. New Simply Sleep.
Imagine someone in a confined space with people who start off as strangers but who soon become closely intimate. And their only contact with the outside world is through a TV camera that lets the world watch their every move 24 hours a day. It's a troubling prospect, and we're not just talking about MSNBC or CNN for that matter. It's even worse in the Netherlands, as we hear now from ABC's Richard Gisbert.
Imagine living in a house for 100 days without a moment's privacy. There are cameras everywhere. In the kitchen, the hallways, inside the bathroom mirror, the shower, even infrared cameras in the bedrooms. 24 cameras in all, rolling for 24 hours a day. This Dutch program, ominously titled Big Brother, puts complete strangers in a specially built house wired with cameras, microphones, and little else.
Ik vond het heel emotioneel.
The only contact allowed with the outside world is talking to producers through a camera. The 9 contestants were carefully chosen from 3,000 applicants. The producers hoped that chemistry would develop, and for Bart and Sabine, it already has. In a way, it's like a national popularity contest. The participants and their viewers hold regular votes on who gets kicked out of the house. This man was the first to be expelled. The last one left wins the prize, $125,000. 2 years ago, Swedish TV tried a similar program, isolating volunteers on a South Pacific island. One of them later committed suicide. The Dutch say their production is different because they did thorough psychological testing of each participant. What the TV cameras see is not necessarily what the TV viewer gets. The cameras are on for 24 hours a day, but it's all edited down to one 30-minute broadcast. And if you want to see any more than that, you have to get on the internet. If you want to see more, the website never shuts down. But it's the TV show with its huge ratings that has Holland talking. Whether it's still popular over the remaining 80 days, or as psychologists predict it turns ugly, is another question. And the producers, who are appealing to the voyeur in all of us, realize that's just one more reason to keep watching. Richard Gisbert, ABC News, Amsterdam.
Boy, are we lucky the cameras are turned off here most of the time.
You should see what goes on around here. It's amazing.
I know. I mean, you particularly. Everyone knows about what you do when the camera's not on. So what you do is your eyes go back and forth from one